Welcome back for the conclusion, the finale of the Suffering of Alcoholism with Bobby Cudell. I think the last time we had you in, Bobby, you were talking about how your progression of this alcoholism. While you're in the midst of it, you probably didn't see it as a problem. Was it social? Was it numbing? Give us a little window into what your mind was like.
Numbing your childhood pain?
I think it was more of an escape for me. Everything filters into what you're doing at the time. I mean,
you're on the job at this point, correct?
My real struggles with alcoholism start when I get on the job. I want to say for that, I mean, it's 24 years now, but in the midst, at some point when it gets to the last 15, that's when it gets really bad. We're talking, everybody always asks that question, when did you hit rock bottom? About 6 times. No, seriously, 6 times. And somehow I talked myself into, the family's important, right? Family's always important. 6, I'll take like 2 weeks off. The most I ever stopped drinking was 6.
Just to prove that you could quit drinking.
Just to prove.
See,
and he knows this, to prove that to my family and to everybody else that's watching, I got no fucking problem. But in my mind, I'll do this so I can drink again. And that day that I go back and drink, it's an all-nighter, and it's like something where I don't, listen, I missed fucking practices. I had to walk off the field while I was coaching to go throw up. I know everybody wants to know a rock bottom thing, right?
Right.
You mind if I talk about it?
No, absolutely.
So
when you say 6 times.
No, I'm talking 6 times, legitimately.
But that they weren't, you were just at the bottom of, you weren't all the way at the bottom yet.
Okay, so my wife's dying of brain cancer. They think she can go. You know, she's got stage 4, a tumor the size of a lemon in between her memory and her speech. They got to do this crazy surgery, and they don't even know if she's going to make it through it, right? They're hoping. I go, she has successful surgery. Now they got to take her. I can't go with her. They got to take her to the ICU, and I can't go. First thing I do is I don't even go home to check on my kids. I go and meet my buddy, and I go on a drinking spur from, now the surgery was about 10 and a half hours. So from early morning to then, so it was like early evening. I don't walk in the door until 9:30 the next morning. And then I show up at the hospital, and my sister-in-law had told her, I think Bobby went out drinking all night. He didn't come home. He didn't see the kids. I don't know where he went. And she asked me, and I said, no, I made up some fucking crazy story like I always would. And then I laid in the bed with her for 7 hours, wasted out of my mind. I consider that rock bottom because I didn't give a fuck about anybody except for how I felt. My pain was for me. I used the thought of losing her and my kids losing their mother didn't come out the way it should have. I disappointed myself hundreds of times over the years, but that was one of the worst parts. But this is in 2011, and I didn't get sober until 18 months ago.
Right.
So that was just one piece of it, you know, where I had to look in the mirror and say,
well, was that the first time you actually, the look in the mirror, was that the first time you actually took a look in the mirror and say, this is a little bit more than social?
No, before that, something happened. I was assigned to narcotics for 7 years in Jersey City. So with the prosecutor's office, and I had an off-duty, like, I wouldn't even say it was an incident, but something happened. And that was the first time I looked in the mirror and I was like, you got fucking problems. But when nothing happens and you sort of circumvent you through the bullshit, you think you're okay. You start thinking you're invincible. You know, a lot of times I had that thing like, I got fucking 20 lives here. Right. Fuck the 9. I got 20.
I always said, though, if you knock on the devil's door long enough, someone's bound to answer.
Oh, yeah. It's and, you know, the funniest part about it all is when I did get to the point of when I knew I had a problem, when I knew I had a problem. I knew I had a problem forever. I just wasn't willing to face it the way it needed to be addressed. I would put a Band-Aid on it always. Because I didn't want to give up the hanging out. I didn't want to give up that thing where I could go to the bar, and I would go to 6 bars on the way home.
Nobody ever wants to be told, you can't do that again. It is a
Nobody was going to tell me.
It is a hard thing.
Bobby was always big into playing darts. Where are dart leagues in a bar?
Yeah.
Playing cards.
Pool, playing pool. I have a pool table in my house. I wouldn't even go. I would go play pool, and I would be like, guys just want to play for money, and I got a pool table in my house.
Right.
I played pool forever. I used to go to the Guys and Dolls all the time. You want to play pool? Okay. Oh, I want to play for a couple bucks. I play half-ass. Not even hustling them, just like goofing around. Then I'd take their money. And that would be drinking. I would never come home with anything. I would drink. If I played June darts, I was having a hot night, I'd win money. That's all getting drink. That would just, where's an after-hours club?
But see,
what's open till 3 o'clock in the morning? The Rock?
Yesterday's.
That's the whole reason I stopped drinking. Because I knew I was getting to a point where somebody was going to say, you can never do that again. And that's too final for me. Whatever makes you better. I see, I'm not locked into, like, people preach AA and people preach this and NSA, all that, whatever those things are, right? I think they're all good. I think they have their purpose. I was just a little different. I needed to, like, you needed to do what you needed to do. I did it differently too. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I got to rehab, it was all AA based, and I believed it got me to where I needed to get, but I'm not a meetings guy. Well, let's, before we get to rehab, now, eventually there was a point where you said, I got a problem and I can't fix it. That's that surrender.
It was weird. Yeah, exactly. And it was just the weirdest thing. I went on a soccer tournament. We went down to some vineyard somewhere. Wine, baby. No, there was no wine. I think I probably
brings me back to my childhood.
He was eating the grapes.
It's like, oh, Father. Call me Cleopatra. But I was down at the soccer tournament for my daughter, Skylar, and we were hanging out. We had a great weekend. We went out a couple of nights. I mean, I drank fucking abnormal, normal. Well, I shouldn't say abnormal. I finished off a fifth of I had a couple bottles of wine, then I had about maybe 10 or 12 Miller Lights, and then I would bang back a whole fifth of vodka. That's what I would do. That would be a night for me. I was the last one. I was watching a band. Everybody else went back to the hotel, my wife included. I'm just sitting there drinking. The next day, I get up. I watch the games. Same thing the next night. We had a really good time. Nothing. We were just talking about how great it was. What a great weekend it was. Came to work the next day. I just knew.
What clicked?
I don't know. I that's the one part that I just think about. I think something internally in my head just.
Are you a higher power guy? Are you something like?
My higher power is my children.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual. Obviously, I believe in God, and I'm very like in that sense.
Be wary of people who are spiritual, because those are the people that just want to do whatever the fuck they want. I swear to God, it's like, I can.
Yeah, no,
I can do every drug in a book, but I'm spiritual.
Yeah,
that's my spirituality brought me to the next level of sobriety and recovery. But I was never, overly religious or anything. I became more spiritual when I started fixing myself.
Well, I'm looking for the key. You understand?
But my higher power was my children. They saw some things that no kid should see. Not stuff that's going to scar them, but because I corrected it to where my kids come to me and say, "We're proud of you. We can't believe you were this and now you're this."
That's actually a big success story with that.
It is.
That was. I wanted to get into that as well. The effects on your family.
We could go to the rehab if you want to first, because then I see everybody thinks they can fix it. I shouldn't say everybody, because I don't talk for anybody else. For me, I always thought I could fix it. I always thought
because you are stronger than this.
10 times.
I got this.
I got this. I mean,
I got it.
When we were involved in our stuff. I'm pretty sure it's the same with Mike. I was so mad at myself because I'm like, I'm fucking stronger than this. I'm so mad at
myself. How the fuck did this happen to me?
Right. I'm better than this. I can handle
You
this.
never know how anything's going to affect you.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. Mike, hey, listen, it sounds corny. Mike's one of my heroes. I grew up with him, and
you got to raise the bar, brother.
Hey, dude,
Listen,
I know.
North Arlington, we don't raise the bar too high, right?
Yeah, but when it's all that sex we had, but no, but
the bar's at belt level.
He's always been someone I aspired when he became a cop before me, and just his presence. When you look at Mike and you see what he went through, okay, but then you look at Mike and how he held himself and how he did the job. Nobody did the job better than him, and he did it the right way, and he knew how to do things, and then he has this event, and it changed who he was. And to me, Mike's the strongest guy I ever met. But you never know how you're going to handle that. You know, you never know how that part, you know. Thank God that's never happened to me. I've been in some crazy shit. Like, you know, I've been told dozens of times by doctors, you got PTS because you got stabbed and you got this. And all
You're my
this
new
other shit.
best friend, PTS. Did you
PTS.
see it? I love it. You're my new best friend.
We're dropping a D.
Yeah.
It's not a disorder.
And I'm like, yeah, but I could have that from fucking getting my ass whipped fucking for 10 years by my stepfather. Who the fuck knows what I got? That's, you know, I never killed anybody. You know what I mean? And I don't want to kill anybody. I didn't sign on to job to get, but if you got to do your job. You know what I mean?
Common misperception of law enforcement.
Everybody thinks, oh, this guy's fucking got a gun. It says, no, dude, I got these things. I don't need the gun unless I really need the gun.
Right.
You know? But I just hit the wall, I guess, click interior wise, and I looked in the mirror and I go, it's time. That's where I think that's where cops get a little hinky because they're like, what do I do now? Do I do this? Do I take time? Do I take a leave of absence? I can't tell anybody at the department. I go to my PBA, but everybody knows. As soon as you say something, the whole fucking department knows.
People probably knew. Like, he's hitting it kind of hard.
Well, you want to hear what the funniest thing is? I trust my chief. I worked with him as we were partners in the detective bureau. He's the best guy that I've ever personally worked with. And he said, I walked up in his office and I told him, I said, Chief,
I think it's time.
I got a problem. And he said, you think? And he smiled and he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go somewhere. I said, I know I can't do this on my own. I can't. And he goes, and then he said, you're asking me for help, correct? And I said, absolutely. He said, well, you can't go to no inpatient. He goes, you can't go to no outpatient bullshit. He goes, because that's not going to work for you. And he goes, I know how you think. He goes, a few couple of weeks and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm
You'll
back.
be drinking on the way home.
Yeah. He's like, you need to go somewhere. He gave me he not only gave me like an infusion of courage, he had my back. He was like, he said, I told him, I don't want to go to Florida. I didn't want to go to Stefano. What's his
Actually,
name?
he called me. Bobby called me one day and said, you know, I need to talk to someone.
I talked to him.
So I referred him to Dr. Steph.
Yeah.
And Steph's a great guy. I mean, he's got all the background. You know, you could talk to him all day long. I just didn't want to go to Florida. I didn't want to go with all the cops. And that's going to sound weird because, you know, I am a cop and I relate with everything we go through. But I felt like I needed to be with all the normal addicts, with like the people.
The true blue addicts.
The ones that are in there, and I wanted to learn. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be the guy. No offense to people out there, but I know guys on the job that've been to the farm,
Yeah.
like 3-4 times in a career. I don't want to fucking do that. I want to do this one time and get it over with. But I know it's going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I know I'm in recovery for the rest of my life. I get that part. But I didn't want to go, dude, like all this rehab becomes a routine. Oh, I need an oil change. I don't need no fucking oil change. I need a complete overhaul, put a new motor in there, and I go out in the world again, and I live the rest of my life.
Right.
So I went to a place called the Discovery Institute. It's in Marlboro.
Well, had you not gone this route, how much longer do you think you would have lasted?
I would have, on the job?
No, just in general.
I probably would have been dead right now.
Yeah.
And that's not something I got to tell myself. You know, I really believed it. I was heading down the wrong fucking path.
I'm sure your marriage would have been gone too.
The marriage would have been gone. Fuck you, Kara. Nah.
Listen,
she put up a more, and I think every cop's wife that goes through this puts up, they can all say the same thing. Just like levels of alcoholism. I don't think I'm any more of an alcoholic than the next guy because we all have these crazy fucking stories that we did. And I can tell you stories that are like, you would blow your mind. But then another guy could come in and tell you worse stories. There's no competition. It's not a sport.
Every great story, I've never heard a great story start with, you know, this one time I was eating this salad.
At band camp.
At band camp, right.
This one time we were out and we weren't drinking, and guess what happened?
Guess what happened?
Yeah.
The best night of my life.
Oh, yeah.
So it goes hand in hand, and you see how all this stuff happens. Nobody wants to go to rehab. When I went to rehab, I don't know about you, but I couldn't take. I have this freedom to do whatever I want, and now I don't. And not to mention, I was in the room with a junkie who my brother happened to arrest, and he didn't know it was my brother, which was fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm the walls just closed in on me.
Well, you know what I didn't have in my life? Discipline for myself. I didn't have discipline. I instilled it. Like this whole time I'm doing all this shit. I'm coaching football. I'm running rec basketball for the whole town. I'm doing all this shit, and meanwhile, I am whacked half the time. Anytime I do anything, I got to go drink.
That's one thing about Bobby. Heavily involved in youth sports in North Arlington, right? Football coach, basketball coach, baseball coach, always involved in everything.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another thing. That's another higher. We talk about higher powers. If I didn't have that shit and I wasn't doing that shit, and my kids were like in the book club, like, because you get involved because your kids. Let's not, unless you got a calling and you're just whatever. I wouldn't have known how good of a coach I could have been unless my kids were playing, because I would have never thought of doing it. I would have been like, oh, more time at the bar. You know, this took away from that. And my close friends have told me before, thank God you coach football those years, because the football's the biggest commitment. It's every night, and it's the weekend, and it's months and months. Preparation, training camp, then afterwards if you make the playoffs. So that actually saved me because I couldn't drink as much then, and I had to taper back. Don't get me, I got it in. I always put the time in. But it saved me.
When something's important to you, you always find time.
But I used it as a higher power on the back end, saying, listen, this is what I want to continue to do. You know, I think I can retire next year. I'd like to be a high school football coach. I really would. I'd like to dabble in it, see if I could do something. You know, I love the sport. You figure I was a basketball player, but I love football. I think football is just so much more interesting.
I think Ray Lucas might be looking for some assistance down by you.
I'll take his job.
You ever been to one of these Glacier clinics? I just got back from one in Atlantic City.
I am on Glacier, and they just our coaching staff just went to it in Atlantic City.
Yeah, were you there the other day?
No, I wasn't there. I couldn't. I was up here, but they were there. North Arlington was there.
Yeah,
the entire staff.
Because I was there. I mean, it didn't really apply to me because this year I'm coaching 3rd and 4th graders. Like,
they got some sick drills on that thing. You go to the library?
Yeah, I haven't been on the website yet, but they're talking about slot back and stuff. Listen, I'm just trying to get the kids to stop eating turf. You know,
right now, when they're listening to this, they're gonna go, all right, guys, land the fucking plane. This isn't helping my addiction. Well, it's not. It helped mine. Find something you like to do.
Well,
when you're going through something like that, you need we talk about it all the time. You need a safe place.
Coaching, whatever it may be, everybody has to listen. You're an addict. I know you're an addict. I consider myself an addict. No matter what you do in your life, you're going to approach it the same way that you approached alcohol. Now, obviously, you want to distract yourself with other things that you can put your focus into. And the reason I'm getting into the minutia of what coaching's about, because coaching, especially at the higher levels, the high school levels and beyond, you have no idea. It's not just showing up to practice and making up a couple drills.
It's more than a commitment.
It is a lifestyle.
Yes.
That you have to do in your spare time on the high school level. You know, because all the coaches that's not their job, you know, unless you're going to a high school in Texas with 6,000 students. That is a secondary job. They're teachers. They have other professions. And the amount of commitment and knowledge that you have to have, I can see how that stuff right there would sober you up.
Yeah.
Or feed that need for an addiction. So let's get into rehab a little bit, because I'm interested to find out what your experience was like.
For me, rehab was everything. If I didn't go to rehab, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. Mike would be probably banging my wife. Sorry, Mackie. But no, seriously, I wouldn't be here. I think I would have been dead, or living in a studio apartment somewhere, my kid's not talking to me, and just saying how I got a 50% pension because they let me resign or whatever. It would have been bad. I was heading down the wrong road, but nothing was in front of me. Like nothing, there was no sidetrack like to go to rehab where somebody said, you got to do this. I did it all on my own.
Was there ever a point when you're about to go into rehab where your future was so uncertain as a police officer?
No, you know what? That's the one thing I did. I did my job good. I could really do the job.
But beyond rehab, did you ever question whether you're going to be allowed back, or you put on the rubber gun squad?
No.
And that was
that's not how it works.
Well, this is the stuff I want to get out there, because a lot of people have these questions.
And a lot of people aren't going to go to rehab because they think they're going to be.
Right.
First and foremost, if you decide to go to rehab, you go to rehab with the mindset, like if you're like me or someone like Mike, and even like yourself, most likely, you do something, you don't do it half-assed, right?
Right.
I do everything fucking full boat. I got to. You know what I mean? I wasted enough time when I was a kid with a fucked up head. And then when I became an adult, I said, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it all. that's how I did rehab. I went in and I said, I'm going to make the most of it, see what happens. And the structure of it, the structured atmosphere and the discipline brought me somewhere to a different level, made me locked in. And I realized what I wanted to do. After like 3 weeks, I was every day got better and better. And after 3 weeks, I was like, wow. I was there for 37 days. It seems like a long time to be away from your kids. You only get to make 2 phone calls a day. This place was very, very strict. Make the bed. The first day I made my bed, the Marine, the guy's a Marine. He comes in, he goes, "You must be law enforcement or military. No one makes a bed like that." And I was like, "That's easy. You just make the bed."
So what?
You know?
So explain to everybody why those little details matter in a place like rehab.
It teaches you to be grounded, and being grounded is when you're not grounded, all bets are off. For me, I don't like to, because everybody's different. Like we talked about how you handle your addiction and I handle my addiction completely different. Other guys got to go to meetings 5 days a week, or else they can't stay sober. They can't walk past Central Liquors without going in, when I can go into Central Liquors and buy my lotto tickets, and I don't have an issue with it.
Listen, Bobby has Super Bowl Sunday. He has a party and has, they all play cards and everything. And he's like, yeah, sure, bring over beer and everything. First couple times I went there, I'm like,
The only thing
should really be drinking. But
we went out. You didn't drink. We went somewhere and you weren't even drinking. And I'm the alcoholic that takes offense to that. Just because I'm an alcoholic doesn't mean you have to fucking act differently. You got to live your life, whatever. You want to sit there and drink 6 shots of Jameson in front of me and fucking have a couple tall boys, whack, have at it. It's not going to affect my decision because I'm that strong.
But do you understand where they come from when they're drinking in front of you? Because I consider it with smoking. Like I know there's people who stop smoking and they go so far the other way. Like, I can't believe you're doing that, and they'll yell at you. I'm like, stop. Listen,
My fault you quit.
Listen, stop. Let them. If they want to do it, let them do it. Who cares? They know it's not good for them. Now, when you see other people drinking around you, do you just go do what you do? You.
I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm like Mike said before. I'm the same person, but I was more obnoxious as I drank more. Like I became. Sometimes it could get weird, but like I was still the same person. I wouldn't appear even. It took me a real long time for that tidal wave to boom.
You got to realize something about Bob. Bobby treats everybody the same way, right? The way he's treating us. One of the first years I went to his house for a Super Bowl party, they're all sitting down playing cards, and there's a guy sitting there. I find out later that he's a cop, and Bobby's saying, "Fuck you, you fucking asshole. You're a fucking piece of shit. You ain't no fucking cop. You're a fucking..." And he's motherfucking this guy up and down. It was his deputy chief.
I could just picture you raise a drink to your glass. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna get weird.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad.
But
at some point, it's gonna get bad.
But that's how you know you're full. You're okay. You're okay with that. And maybe having those people around you drinking is your AA meeting, is your reminder, because we all need to brush up. You need to brush up on 2C, pursuit law, attorney general guidelines, stuff like that.
There's certain things I'm not gonna do. I mean, I used to love going to this bar, Matson's in Kearney. It's a little hole-in-the-wall place. I love the guys there. The fucking good people. Nobody, never trouble. Chill out. They close early. Finish up there every day. If I went to Food Town to get milk, I was in Matson's. It's 2 blocks away. I need an excuse. I would always go there. That's the one place I won't go. Like I'll go to other places. I'll go to a restaurant. I went to a bar last night at Riverside Pub with my wife to watch our friend play that we grew up with. No issues whatsoever. I bought her a couple of wines. I freaking drank some seltzer. I don't give a shit. But in my head, I'm like, Matson's was a real happy place for me. And I don't want to go back in. That's just knowing your limitations. Like, that's a place that they always say in AA, people's places and things, right? You hear that all the time. Like, stay away from these people. Like, there's toxic people that I couldn't be around anymore, and they're not my friends. And I said, you'll always be my friend, but we can't hang out anymore. And I've told those people to their face. And I did, like, the steps and shit like that. I went through that whole progression, just to see how it will work out for me. But I don't go to that place. There's certain things that I won't do. But as far as like us going to a restaurant and Mike banging back some beers and us, whatever, I don't give a shit.
We had a mutual friend who, I'm not going to mention his name, has since passed away. Right as soon as Bobby came out of rehab, he's like, "Hey, come meet me up at this place. Let's go have a couple drinks." Remember that?
Yeah, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I can't do that." "Oh, I know you're doing the no drinking thing." So, like, listen, there's one thing to go out and, like, okay, respect's an issue with everybody, right? It always has to be. I respect people. So by Mike feeling awkward drinking around me, that's a sign of respect.
But
Because if he didn't respect me, he'd be like, bring it over here. You know what I mean?
People get really weird when they're drinking and you're not. Did you notice that?
Unless they know, I tell people right up, you don't want me to drink. I'm going to be the funnest guy anyway here. I'm going to be the most boisterous. If I target you, you're not going to want to be friends with me anymore. It's just, that's what, when I was drinking, I would find the guy. Remember when you were playing dodgeball and you'd be like, there he is. That's him, right? Like, so I'll find that one person and then it was terrible. I had a guy tell me at a party just recently, I'm so glad you stopped drinking. He goes, and I'm happy for you. He goes, and you're still funny as shit. He goes, but you don't, he goes, you used to target me. And he goes, I'd leave. He goes, I want to leave. He goes, because you were relentless.
Yeah.
And everybody'd be laughing because you were so funny. But he goes, for me, I'd only have a few comebacks and you would eat them. He goes, you take them so good. He goes, you never got upset. I go, that's because I got a lot of ammo, baby.
That bothers me. If I go out someplace and people know that I don't drink and they'll be like, oh, well, we can't have a drink. Like, stop. And that makes me feel worse.
Live your life. Yeah. No,
that makes me feel worse because that makes me feel like I'm holding you back.
Most alcoholics won't go in that situation. Like if I tell a guy who's in AA that I'm going to go to this bar and all my friends are drinking, you're setting yourself up for a relapse. And that's what I think a lot of the cops out there got to realize, that I'm not into labels. Like, you handle it the way you want to handle it. I mean, I do things, I might be unique. I might just be the way it is for me. You know what I mean? I do understand that at any given moment I could relapse. At any minute I could just say, fuck this, I'm going to go have a drink. You gotta say that. You have to understand it though. It can't be words.
Has there been like a bad time since in the last 18 months where you almost went back?
Nope. I wish I could say
after he left the Suffering podcast.
Right after where's the local bar? Is there a BJ's?
After he left the last time and then came back up today.
I wouldn't have to go
did
far.
You drink it?
I just go to Mike's Jeep. There's got to be beers in there.
Just drink the bottom of it.
This is backwash is awesome. But no, I haven't yet. I haven't had anything, but I prepare. I'm a very prepared person. I prepare for everything. And when I became sober, when I got into rehab, and then rehab, like I said, rehab worked for me. It really did, because I bought into it. It was some of the stuff, like, look at, I don't go to AA meetings. I don't do that kind of stuff. Once in a blue moon, if somebody's speaking, I'll stop by and listen. Once in a blue moon. But, and other guys get pissed at me because I do that. Guys that I know that are friends with, they're like, oh, you don't show up at meetings. You need meetings. I'm like, I need what's good for me.
Did you ever think that going to a meeting wasn't so much for you, but for other people because you are doing well?
Yeah, well, when I speak at a meeting, they've been like, oh, I love it. Can you come back? I'll go do that shit.
Yeah.
I like helping people. But for me personally, when I'm sitting there and I have no struggles, and then it comes around, like, I feel like I'm not helping anybody if I say, yeah, nothing, dude. It's like I never drank. It's like I never drank before in my life, and I just don't like the taste of alcohol because I don't have any cravings. I don't have any of this. And then I feel like that's to them, they're going, this fucking guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's just my take on it.
Well, you did get away lucky, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I take it to, because I like to, I do have perseverance and fortitude in that respect, and I control myself, alcohol, I had no control over alcohol. It controlled me. So I know that if you put a beer in front of me right now and I drank it, you're not going to see me for a couple of days. I know that, and I thoroughly believe it, because that one beer would just be like the trigger. Okay.
One thing I want to ask you, and I kind of know the answer to this, but I want to hear it from you.
It's about 7.5. Most people think it's 9, but it's really not that big.
I've seen it. It's not that big.
No, it's not. It's not. I like to talk about it, though. Hey, blow me up.
It's 7 inches wide.
It's fucking thick.
Mike says you're all balls.
It scrapes the sides.
Actually, my balls are shrinking, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
How old are you?
Do you have any Vagisil?
I do. As a matter of fact, I do.
I'm 55.
You're 55. All right.
I got Vagisil in the Jeep if you need it.
Oh, I put it on my asshole. They call that a bussy. All right, go ahead.
When you got out of rehab and went to work, how did your department treat you? Like all the guys?
Amazing. Not one person was like, kind of like I had leprosy.
Looking at you sideways.
You stupid alky.
Yeah, like I had leprosy. I like to joke about it. I throw the jokes out there, and guys that know me will say, like, don't invite Bobby, like, you know what I mean? Just like whatever. But everybody was super supportive.
Well, I'm sure
I'm proud of you.
You had your group of guys that you used to go out after work and go have a couple drinks with,
Mhm.
right? They didn't treat you any different after that?
No. No, they just were like everybody else, kind of like, I like when people come ask me shit. Don't be quiet or act a different way around me. What's up? Open your fucking mouth. So guys that come up to me, we're going to watch the Dallas game because unfortunately I work with a couple of Dallas Cowboy fans. We're going to watch the Dallas fan down in
females in
East.
police and law enforcement is fine.
I embrace it.
It's
totally
okay.
Totally.
Kev, he's a Jets fan, and his son is a Lions fan.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much a
It's
loser.
Listen, we could do a whole Suffering podcast on a football Sunday in his house.
I don't think I've ever met a Detroit Lions fan ever.
My youngest brother is a Detroit, and that's why my son is, because he sent them Detroit Lions shit.
So
and now
two.
Matt Stafford leaves and he wins the Super Bowl. I said, why didn't you follow him to the Rams, you jerk off? But you don't talk like that to a 13-year-old.
Well, so there is one problem about not drinking and having those around you drink. There is one problem. I don't really like being around a lot of drunk people.
Okay, that is a problem.
Yeah, I don't like it.
When you get to that point, listen, sometimes I would drink when I was drinking so I could keep up with the Joneses so I wouldn't have to deal with that fucking idiot,
Yeah, I get it.
Listen,
I get it.
I'm active on the job. I can tell you shit that happened in bars, and people know the stories and shit, but we're not going to talk about that. I don't have a tolerance for that shit. You better have a good dental plan.
You can't deal with drunks unless you're drunk.
Unless you're wasted. So I would get drunk a lot of times when I knew I was going to be. I would be already hammered. I was never the full. I was the upbeat kind of guy. Right. But right now, being sober, if you get obnoxious, it could be a turn. So I'm a 2 hour guy. If I'm hanging out, if I'm invited to something, and then I leave. I just go because I know someone's gonna get, and I can't stand the. Certain people, when they drink certain things, it smells. That's something that bothers me. Yeah. I don't like. Not that it makes me want to drink. It's just like, ugh, dude.
And that
take a mint.
That used to be you.
That was me.
That used to be
Close talker. Fucking, handsy, grabbing you, fucking.
Little squeech down below.
Oh, always. Dude. Oh my God! But if I'll be like, oh my. Oh, is the bathroom unisex?
And if you notice one thing about Bobby, he's only got like one octave to his voice. It's just out there.
It's loud. But yeah, no, it's there. As an alcoholic, like me, as an alcoholic, I had to feel my way through, and I'm still learning every day. Like certain things, like my wife stopped drinking a lot. Like she used to drink more. And she stopped. She really curtailed it now. So now if she has 2 glasses of wine, she's like tipsy, Yeah. So last night she had 2.5, and she's fine. But you can always tell, like, when somebody's drinking, Like,
I'm sure she has more wine when Mackie comes over, though.
Yeah, that's a whole different. I leave the house then. Yeah. Because I just can't take the fucking conversation. It's just getting stupider.
Get yourself out of dangerous situations.
Yeah, dude. That's what I do for a living.
Now, what do you think your biggest adjustment to sober life would be?
Going to the gym a lot more.
I think finding a routine, but not finding another addiction. Everybody says addicts, addictive personality, all that shit. I really don't believe in that. I believe that I need to find things that take up the time in a positive way that I'd like to do anyway. I wasn't going to pick up. I don't like yoga. You're not going to get me to do fucking yoga. I don't like it. I tried it. I don't fucking like it.
Hot yoga.
Don't you downward dog and shove it up your fucking ass.
Don't fucking knock it. I'm going to tell you why.
It's because you like putting the pants on, right? You fucking weirdo.
He does. He's got yoga pants on right now.
Oh my God.
While you two are chirping, let me explain to you why yoga is so great.
We're going to be doing part 3.
It is the funniest fucking thing on the planet. Because you know what happens when you're doing yoga? Everybody's farting. It's the funniest fucking.
Is that why they call it hot yoga?
Then that just smells real bad. It's. I've taken a couple yoga classes. I'm telling you, I walk out of there almost crying.
Yeah, I know why you take the yoga classes. Stop. But I think the gym is big for me. Obviously, I coach. I love sports. Like today, when I'm out of here, I got to go to rec basketball. I don't give a like if the coach doesn't show up, I coach the goddamn team. Last week I coached this team. They didn't win. They said, "Hey, coach," they were 5th and 6th graders. Where's your coach? He didn't show up. Oh, he called. He can't make it. So now they called ahead of time. It's like, yo, can you fill in? So I go, hey, kids, what's going on? They're like, I said, so what do you guys play? You play a zone? You go man to man? What do you do? They're 5th and 6th graders. They didn't even fucking know. So I'm like, did you win a game yet? They played like 6 games. Just, no, we're like 0-6. I said, all right. I said, come on, we'll do a little thing. Boom, boom, boom. We won. And we beat a team that was like only got 1 loss. They're not bad, some of these kids. But I like it. I'm fucking a cartoon character. I'm loud. I say shit. You know what I mean? The parents fucking.
Well, there's an enormous amount of satisfaction seeing a kid grow.
Yeah.
Especially in the sports world. And that's always been my joy of coaching.
And you're volunteering. You know what I mean? You're volunteering your time for something good. I really get into it. I really like it. And I'm always learning shit. Some of these guys think they fucking know everything. They don't know shit. That you got to put your time in. You know what I mean? You got to be a student.
Kev, you said it earlier. You talk to people and like it seems like everybody knows Bobby.
Yeah,
he is like synonymous in like the junior sports in our area.
I put out.
It's like, Cudell. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody like rolls their eyes.
There's a weird thing that happened. So I put out a little commercial. Right, I was down.
Oh, did we put out the original commercial yet?
With Bobby? Oh, dude.
There we go.
That was hysterical.
Is that the tube steak commercial?
Fairy dust.
I saw the fucking thing you sent me, dickhead.
All right, so just to give you an idea, this is why I wanted to ask you. So I put out this little thing the other day, knowing that you're coming in here today to record. I mentioned your name. 101,000 views. So are you that popular?
No, Bobby he viewed it a lot of times.
I have no idea.
He was working midnights. He had a lot of time on his hands.
101,000 views. All right, so that's why I think you're popular. But
maybe in a priest community. Oh, I remember him.
All of them came from the Vatican.
Yeah. Wow. They've all made it up to big time. See, it depends on how much pipe you led, and then you go, "Oh, I made it to Cardinal." Of course you did.
Look at this. It says Pope _ Vatican.
Yeah, right.
Who's this guy? I told you this wouldn't be easy, Kevin.
So we're working with this marketing company.
Think about what you want to say.
Yeah, we're working with this marketing. I'll spin this another way. I was actually going to spin it in your favor, but I'll spin it another way.
You can spin it any way you want.
So a commercial will be coming out about us having. No, I can't even fucking do that. I can't even do it. So we're working with a marketing company, and we have an officer who's coming in here. It's openly gay, and we all know everybody thinks it's Bobby, but it's not. And this guy put together a commercial.
How do we know it's not? I haven't come out yet.
This guy put together a commercial. Thinking that you were the officer who was gay.
He did?
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't. He sent me. He sent. Oh, yeah, he did send to me.
I open it up and I start crying, laughing, knowing that it's the wrong. He's got the wrong guy. It was just miscommunication. But I think I might have to actually put that one up.
You could do whatever you want. Because I'm down with it.
That's fucking hilarious.
I still got it on my phone.
I'll probably got a lot more hits on my Grindr account.
So what's changed for you since coming out of rehab, living this sober life, as far as being a police officer?
I've become much closer with my family, much more involved in daily operations where I used to throw everything on her. She still does all the cleaning, but
as they should.
That's gonna get my nuts chopped off. No,
as they should.
I just became more. Listen, we work a crazy schedule at work and stuff like that sometimes, but I do as much as I possibly can to help out more. I was a no-show as far as that's concerned. I thought that coaching my kids in sports and showing up at games and stuff like that for my daughter was enough. I was really not. Nothing with schoolwork. I was an absentee father in that sense.
But coaching is almost kind of masking your alcoholism, isn't it?
Yeah.
You justify, well, I can't be an alcoholic. Look, I'm coaching all these sports.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of denial in there, too. I mean, I don't have a problem. I knew I had a problem, but I was like, I would convince myself, I'm no fucking problem. Kidding me? No. Look at everybody else is doing the same shit. Everybody was doing the same shit.
If you're in a bar drinking, you're generally not in there by yourself. Everybody's in the bar drinking.
Yeah.
So, he's got
and like 6 of them were cops with me. You know what I mean? I could always find a cop buddy when I needed to drink. I could always find anybody, but I could definitely find one of my cop friends to drink with me when I wanted. Who wants to go out to dinner? Talk about being a bad influence on the young guys.
Well,
Shit, they
addicts-
can't wait to hang out with. Oh, I want to go hang out with this detective. They're fucking hanging out. We ain't talking about work. Can't fucking drink.
Addicts are always very good at justifying their actions. Always. Hey, I drink. I got this under control. I can do this. Look, I'm coaching my kids. So it's a natural progression. So you're closer with your family. How about police work? Are you sharper police officer? Or did that not change at all?
No, I'm more focused. Absolutely. I was good, and I was always better than the average. But now I'm more locked in. Now, see, I came back and it seemed like sometimes you do something right and things just happen for you. Like I left as a detective. I came back, and 3 weeks later, I was the fucking sergeant. And, you know, it was like perfect timing. And then I became a sergeant, and then I became like, you know, I mean, I just was locked in. I guess I always had leadership ability, but like on the job, it really comes out. My guys are always telling me, I got transferred to another squad. These guys were like, oh, we wish you were my sergeant, you know, blah, blah, blah. I get a lot of positive feedback about how to do the sergeant job. You know, and I hate giving him credit, but I watched him be a sergeant and I knew how he was. And, you know, there's a nice balance to being a good boss.
You have to have a good boss in order to be a good boss.
You know, one of the ultimate compliments you could get, and I got about Bobby, not mention any names, but Bobby and his last chief didn't get along all that well. And chief lives in my town. I know him pretty well. And he said, Bobby is a fantastic cop. He goes, he's one of the best guys we have. He's like, he's my go-to guy. If I need something done, I'll go to Bobby. He goes, but he's a jerk off. That's really it.
Yeah. And we that's the general thing. Like, you know, like I had when I went to, when I said to my chief off the record, I said, Chief, if you knew I had a problem, he goes, you're one of my best cops. He goes, you never had a problem here. He goes, I can't force you. That's the one thing that cops need to know. Your chief's not going to come to you. If your chief comes to you or your IA comes to you,
now you got trouble.
You got problems. It's when you go to him, you'll never, ever, there's no fear there to go to your chief and tell him you have an issue and you need help. And they're obligated, even if they hate your fucking guts, they're obligated to help you. Now, this chief loved me and he told me, he goes, you ever hear this saying, it's not a problem till it's a problem? Well, now it's a fucking problem, you know?
So now you've gone through all this stuff. Have you been able to direct anybody else with a potential alcohol problem into your place?
I've helped people. It's hard to help people without saying, you should do this, this, and this. It's not like...
That's a paternal
It's
thing,
not like we're coaching, you know, football and I'm showing someone how to play outside linebacker or how to play defensive end. You know what I mean? There's things that you need to know to play those positions, you know? With addiction, what works for me might not work for you. So I just tell them what works for me and I'll listen.
At least it's a jumping off point.
Yeah, so listen, this worked for me, but talk to me.
Right.
And I've talked to a few people and they've actually, you know, not everybody's an alcoholic. Just because you're drinking a lot at some point in your life doesn't make you an alcoholic. Excuse me. I don't believe that. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me or say whatever, but just because you got some downtime and, you know, you're drinking a lot and you're depressed or you're just having some anxiety or whatever else, that doesn't necessarily mean you have a problem. You might just be going through something. You know what I mean? It can develop into alcoholism if you continue it long enough. I wish I was a guy that just liked to drink and I never had any issues and I was a fucking normal person. I wasn't normal. That's why we're sitting here. I mean, I'd still be drinking, you know?
You know, we're coming to the end of this thing and I ask all of my guests the same question each time. It's, you've gone through all this different stuff. You come out on the other side, clean, sober. What do you think all this suffering's taught you?
I really regret having anal sex in 1988.
But not the one he had last week.
But then I got used to it, just like everything else, and now it's routine. It helps me with my sobriety. I'm sorry, I got off track. My bad. Holy shit.
I don't know what the fuck to leave in anymore and what to take out.
What was that? What was the question? What was the question? You had me at hello.
If you had 9 inches in your ass, how far do you think before it's just a tip, just to see how it
Well,
feels?
I think the hard part's the entry because the rectal spasms a little bit. But once you get in there, because you can get some anal ease or some shit like that, that'll help with it. And then then start the pounding. The pounding has to begin.
Did you say anal ease?
Yeah, there's this stuff called anal. You put it in your anal, and it helps with the pain.
This has gone out of the realm of just joking around because you have really specific knowledge. It's
Yeah, bro.
starting to worry me.
Don't worry about it. Unless you're alone with me in a room, don't worry about it.
So what do you think all this stuff has taught you, all this suffering?
With this?
With alcoholism. No,
Oh.
not with. Let's drop the anal stuff for a second.
Honestly, it's taught me how to live my life, how to be productive, how to be a better father, a better husband, how to be a better employee, how to be a better friend to people. And listen, it's not always about me. I was a very selfish person. All alcoholics are. And anybody who's a drug addict, whatever, you're going to be selfish. It's all about you. And no one else fucking matters. Now everybody matters. I said something the other day I put on Instagram. I said, something about quit fucking whining. And if you're going to give up something for Lent, don't give up anything. Do something for somebody else. Because the time that you give up to do something for somebody else, it could just be listening. It could be anything. Is you're doing something better than yourself. Because when we give up shit for Lent, I'm giving up fucking sugar. It's only helping you. It ain't helping nobody else. It should be about helping somebody else. And I think that's where I'm at now. I don't go out of my way to look for fucking people with problems. That's not what I'm saying. But anybody could be you. Like I said, I get phone calls every now and then, and I do my best. It's an awkward position, mind you. I'm not a counselor,
Yeah, but they're going to talk to you because you've been there.
Yeah, no, and I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a therapy session with me. It's going to be like this. You ask me a specific question, I'll give you a specific answer. I'm an open book. I don't hide anything.
So like I said, Bobby's been one of my greatest friends. I mean, throughout the course of my life.
He's just saying this because we're on the fucking thing right now.
Yeah.
He motherfucks you all the time. Don't worry about it.
Did you ever get one of those fingers in your ass? You see the size of those fucking things?
You're starting to worry me, bro. It's starting to worry. Everything comes back. So Mike's giving you a compliment. So what about that finger in your ass?
I'm not good with compliments. That's the one thing.
But
But you are good at anal.
That's
Yes,
really
I am.
that's really what I was getting at. I mean, me and Bobby always had like the I don't want to say relationship because it isn't going to go back to anal,
Of
but
course.
we've always, like me and you, like we always said, we're never going to say we love each other, but Kev, you're a jerk off. That means we care.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Bobby always had that same kind of relationship. I think since he got sober, like he said, that post that he put on Instagram the other day, I read that thing. And I'm like, that's like the new Bobby. Bobby, the old drinking Bobby would have never done that. One of the nicest things he ever did for me, and I think I sent it to you when you got promoted to sergeant.
Yes, you did. I know exactly what you're talking about. And you know what? We got to find that because I want to post that up.
I was actually just looking for it.
Yeah, I want to post that up.
I use the stripes on my.
Yeah, I gave him, when I got promoted to lieutenant, I gave him my stripes, and he wrote an awesome thing on Instagram, and it was, I mean, I was in tears.
We'll find that, and we're going to post that up because it is very nice, but it is very indicative of your new path in life. And I hate to say this is a new Bobby. This was always, from what I see, being an outsider, not knowing you that well, it seems like this is always who you were, but you were masking it all those years with all this alcohol.
Thank you, Dr. Zhivago. No, you're right. I was probably masking it. Like we said, there's so much regret. I've loaded with regret. See, one of my biggest things is, and I know you're probably gonna edit a lot of shit out, but like my friends, like Mike, he did everything he wanted to, not everything he wanted to do athletically. And I felt like I always was the second. I remember a friend of ours, Mike the Torque, came and watched me play basketball, and he says to me, dude, you're fucking awesome. He goes, when did you become a good basketball player? I was like, I don't know. I was always a good athlete. I just never got to do anything. I lived in this house where you couldn't even fucking like move and you got cracked. So when I was playing sports, I would sit back and I wouldn't act when I should have. You know what I mean? So I have all regret. Like, listen, I wasn't going anywhere. I just wish I had that experience that all my friends did. When I did do well, my stepfather would take me off to sports. I started at North Arlington, 2 sports, and he would call down there and say, send them home, or he would come get me from practice. And I was off baseball 3 times during the season.
Look at it this way, Bobby. Never regret, especially from youth to where you were to where you are now. Never regret any of that, because you have an opportunity now to do some really great things with all that stuff. And if you had not gone through all that stuff, you wouldn't be out here talking about it. You wouldn't be helping somebody else.
Yeah, I got all the shit out of the basement, but that was the things that I was still talking about, not talking about it, feeling that shit when I was in the throes of my alcoholism as a 40, 50-year-old man, still thinking about fucking sports in high school. Well, who gives a fuck? They're good questions. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that was something you didn't get to do. So,
Bobby, I really do appreciate you coming in today, telling your story. I know some of it's probably still a little painful, still hurts a little bit, but you got through it on the other side.
And I think that's going to help a lot of people, because there's a lot of cops out there that are drinking probably too much, and they need to hear it from someone like Bobby.
Before we leave, Mike had just sent me a text message of the post that Bobby put up about Mike Falaise, and it says, "In life, certain people inspire you. One such person inspired my life is retired police lieutenant Mike Falaise, Lyndhurst Police Department, at dented_ace. Not only was Mike an outstanding cop, he is also one of my most dearest friends. Years ago, Mike gave me sergeant chevrons when he was promoted to lieutenant. It was my absolute privilege to wear those chevrons on my dress blouse during my swearing-in ceremony, and in that process, honor my friend." And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, the Suffering of Alcoholism. And let's think about all the stuff that we learned today. First thing we learned, hookers now get paid with gift cards. I did not know that. Never is an inconceivable thought. Addicts become really good at justifying their actions, but most importantly, if you do something, do it 100%. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, the Suffering of Alcoholism with Bobby Cudell. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Look for Mike Falaise on Instagram at dented_ace. Look for Bobby at Bobby Cudell. Look for me. I'm at Real Kevin Donaldson. And we will see you on the next episode of the Suffering Podcast.